this right there. Good. Bigger. That bigger.
I feel like society.
Okay. So there's two of these. There's one for Trump and one for Biden. We're gonna watch both while playing Hades. Let's see what we got.
I feel like society today, especially
Do I
millennials,
have this
we're
upright?
addicted to feeling
Yeah, whatever.
sensitive and offended. Like literally, people's nipples get hard when they're freaking offended by something.
With the election upon us, millions of Americans are gearing up to cast their vote for the next president of the United States. While some people will be voting independent, we wanted to hear from Trump voters and Biden voters about why they are voting for their candidate. In Spectrum, we
I don't know
bring
why I thought
everyday
they said that
people
they're
together
king.
for authentic discussions that represent what's happening now. These discussions should not be anyone's sole source to forming opinions on important issues. Please do your own research, seek out experts, push yourself outside your bubble, and have empathy. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, if you guys want the best research, I think there's this thing called like QAnon. They have all the correct information. So when they say do your own research, they mean go there. Specifically for these people, for Trump. That's what I meant.
Hello, my name's Rachel. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I've been a conservative my whole life, but my views have definitely evolved, and I'm happy to be here.
Uh-oh, she's gone to college. That's what's happened.
And I actually work in politics and have watched very closely kind of the Republican Party turn from Republicanism to kind of Trump Republicanism, and I'm excited to talk about that.
Hi, my name's Noah. I'm a teenage conservative from the great state of Georgia. I've been a conservative for my whole life, and I'm really looking forward to this discussion.
My name is.
I love it when people like I'm not that old either, but I love it when teenagers say I've been a Republican my entire life. It's like, yeah, ever since I knew what political statement I've had, I've always been whatever I've been born into. That's pretty much what they're saying.
Malik. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I just turned 23. I was always economical, even when I was very little. Now I'm a medical student in the state of Georgia.
Hi, my name is Amy. When it comes to social issues and everything,
I think she's been on another one of these videos before. I remember seeing her on before.
Considered a little bit more liberal, but I do support our president 100%. 4 more years was good.
100%.
So, yeah.
Hi, my name's Alicia. I'm 20 years old.
I have so many.
Immigrated to America from Nicaragua as a political refugee, and then my father's side of the family immigrated from Mexico. And I am also 8 months pregnant, and I'm super excited to be a first-time mom.
Oh.
Trump's behavior can be offensive. Rachel.
Somewhat disagree.
Casey.
Agree.
Noah.
Agree.
What's the question?
Ami.
Agree.
Alicia.
Strongly agree.
Malik.
Agree.
Oh shit.
I think that Trump gets a lot of flack more than other presidents for offending people because he is not politically correct. The politically correct culture has been shoved down our throats, and the reason why people like his rhetoric is because he doesn't put up with that toxic culture.
The reason I said agree is because while he hasn't directly offended me, I do think some of his rhetoric can be offensive. I mean, I'm sure Stormy Daniels was pretty offended to be called horseface, even though it was epic. When it comes to a lot of his,
It was
policies,
so
I tend to
epic,
agree with,
bro.
what he's done with the taxes, I think we can all agree on. If we could just take his Twitter account away sometimes and just limit what he says, or get a good writer in there for his tweets, I think we'd be in a way better place in the country.
I actually enjoy President Trump's tweets. I have notifications set up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I don't even factor in the rhetoric when it comes to President Trump anymore because of all the results that he's gotten. And if that's how he has to behave in order to achieve the results, I'm totally fine for it. I see a fighter, and that's what I like about him.
The one time he offended me, I quickly found out that it was from fake news. So that was in the beginning of the election when he was running in 2016.
And
it was the disabled thing, like that little thing. That offended me, but that quickly dissipated when I found out that's what he does. Everything else that I heard him say from.
wait, what? This when I found out that's what he does.
A fighter, and that's what I.
That little thing that offended me, but that quickly dissipated when I found out that's what he does. Everything else.
That makes no sense. I was really offended when he made fun of, handicapped people or people that have problems. But then I wasn't offended once I realized that he just likes making fun of people that have problems. What does that mean?
That I heard him say from this point.
That's
I
cool.
haven't felt personally offended, but when I hear him say certain things, I'm like, I could hear the screeching. I could hear, you could just hear like the freaking people freaking out.
Yeah, and one thing that I say kind of offended me that I kind of didn't like was when the Hollywood Access tape grabbed him by the, I didn't really like that. But then as I thought about it more, I thought he wasn't running for president. He was a Democrat at the time.
What does that matter?
And this has nothing to do with who he is today.
He was talking about groupies.
Yeah, and to me, like when I actually looked at the context and everything, like, yeah, no, I know.
Just because you're like one of the, I don't know, what do you say? Like it was like locker room talk or some shit. It's like that's still part of your character. The fact that you would talk like that doesn't matter that you weren't running for president then. Doesn't matter that you were a Democrat then. I don't know why that even has to matter at all. If anything, that should show the fact that if he was a Democrat then, they just like fucking switch his side, whatever like is best for him. I have no idea. I have no idea how that's a positive. I have no idea how that's a positive.
Know who he's talking about. He's not talking about, oh, Ami, I could just grab. No, you can't do that to Ami. Like, I dare to do that.
I'm gonna hit you with a backhand over there.
Exactly. Like he's talking about the women that are like not just any woman. He was talking about particular women.
And think of when he said that stuff too in Access Hollywood. By that time, Donald Trump was being talked about in rap videos. He was on Comedy Central doing those roasts. He was in Hollywood. We know who he was talking about. So when all these people
doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it right.
You dare use the grab him by the
if he had been
oh, they beeped it.
In the rap song, yeah, sing that song. Oh wait, he's a Republican? Oh no, we disagree.
Yeah, I was.
People don't. Those people aren't running for president. The people who like, I think they just equate it to like if a rapper, like if a rap song had that shit in, they're not running for president. They're not people that were trying to be president. I don't.
Ever offended by Trump once, and this was whenever he said something about like Mexicans being like animals or like something like that, and so I was like, oh my gosh, it's so offensive, like why would he say that? And then I said that, I was like, do you read like everything that he said? So I went back and he was talking about like the MS-13 gangs that were in Mexico and stuff. So
equating to how all of them, he was generalizing. He wasn't very much specifying specifically MS-13, but he was generalizing and saying there are some good people, but it makes it more sound like they are the that most of them are like MS-13, and that the exception are the sometimes good people. Your attack is stronger. I mean, early on attack, I guess, right?
And how a lot of people are like sensitive to his like rhetoric and what he says.
What do you think?
Imagine being sensitive to what the president says.
Millennials, we're addicted to feeling sensitive and offended. Like literally, people's nipples get hard when they're freaking offended by something.
I think I know why that is.
Why?
Because if I'm offended, if I'm a victim, I get more attention. It's like there's a hierarchy of victimhood. Well,
what?
I'm black, but you're black, and a woman. So that means you get more power. It's like in the left, it's like the more victimized you are, the more you should be heard, the more power you should be given. And to me, I think that's pretty sad.
Systemic.
So, this hierarchy of like victimhood, I mean, I guess it's kind of a thing. We try to like get people and be like, hey, who are the people that are most downtrodden? Who are the people that we need to raise up the most? And when he's like, he makes it sound like give them power is like a bad thing. It's like if people are lacking some form of power to take part in their system, then we do want to try and raise them out of that so that they can participate in our system and get more out of it. Like, I don't know how that, again, I don't see that as a bad thing. But it's like, hey, we found these people who have less power in the system and therefore aren't able to function as properly. How about we don't give them, how about we let's give them less of a voice. Let's make them less heard. I don't understand how that makes sense, how that would be a good thing. But he's making it seem like it's a bad thing that we're trying to raise these people out of that and give them more power. But whatever.
Racism is a problem in America.
Wait, was it? Systematic racism.
Disagree.
Of course.
Somewhat disagree.
They're all, I'd be amazed. I feel like every single one of them is going to be like, show me a law in the books. Show me a law that says it.
Noah?
I said somewhat agree.
Amy?
Somewhat agree.
Alicia?
I said strongly disagree.
Somewhat agree.
Okay, more.
It
Okay.
implies that it's built into the DNA of the country, and I just don't think that that's
Built into the DNA of the country. How was our country formed again? What? How was our country made? What was it based around? What was a primary? Oh my god. Okay. The foundation that we were built on.
It wasn't founded to be a racist country.
Systemic is really that there's laws in place
I knew it.
that prevent people
I knew
of
it.
color from excelling. And while in the past there definitely have been laws that were systemically racist, there aren't any anymore.
There's so many examples of people of color that excel in America. For example, like Barack Obama, he's like a black president. You also have like AOC.
So therefore
who's a
impossible.
bartender. She's a person of color, and she
Can't have
really
systemic
moved
racism because he had a black
up and
president.
became, like, you know, a House of Representative.
Can I ask everybody this real quick? Joe Biden's 94 crime bill that specifically targeted people of color, you wouldn't consider that to be systematic, something that was put into place that is going to target the breakdown of the black family. Sorry to be like military, but there's some skid marks. America has some like total.
Did she say we wouldn't? Because we definitely would.
Up and became.
Wouldn't consider that to be systematic. Crime bill that specifically targeted people of color.
We-
You wouldn't consider that.
we
to be
definitely do.
systematic, something that was put into place that is going to target the breakdown.
I don't understand this saying like, oh, you guys, Joe Biden does this and you guys didn't say it. It's like, no, one of the major problems with Joe Biden was that crime bill. One of the reasons people are so iffy about him on the left is because of the crime bill that he was a part of. Like, that's a major criticism of him. I don't understand how they're saying that it wasn't a deal, that we don't call it that.
Down of the black family. Sorry to be like military, but there's some skid marks. America has some like total skid marks.
Yeah, there has been like, cause like I'm studying history and I'm taking Old South class, so we're just talking about slavery. Like, so I'm not denying that there hasn't been systemic slavery before, but in 2020.
Just learning about slavery in, I think she's in college, or like maybe a grad student or something. Just learning about slavery. Never mind. I'm not a big history guy, so I won't speak too much about that.
Today, like there's not systemic racism.
But just in the 90s, 94, that was the year I was born. It's not too long ago, and the residue, the effects that it had within 2 generations, is, you know, it looks pretty structured to me. You know what I mean?
I mean, I really like what you had to say with the 1994 crime bill, because that's exactly where I was going with it. That's why I somewhat agree. And the other policy that I think is also really important would be school choice. In the schools where I was growing up, the way they teach history and the way they teach the spirit, you know, that they were teaching.
Spirit, bro, I felt like in the classroom.
You are determined that you will fail. You cannot succeed. You will never make it. And to me personally, whenever somebody told me I can't do something, I said, okay, watch. And then I went to medical school. But
Wait, hold on, I'll wait till he says so.
A lot of other people, they don't have what I have. You know, so I think it is systematic because it's mostly black people in these areas being taught these things that keep them from even thinking that it's possible for them to achieve.
Imagine. Okay, imagine living. Oh shit! Hold on, it's a mini boss. Fuck, I already took damage. Well, doesn't matter. I mean, I won't die, but I won't get the bonus. Hold on. Special strong inflicts chill. Playing 10 seconds of chill. Ooh, both of those are really good. Imagine living where you have a problem. There's something affecting you specifically, and when you start getting told like, "Hey, this is an issue that you guys are having, and like it's gonna make it harder for you and all this stuff, and we should probably like face this issue on and like try and fix it." And then people tell you, "Oh, it's actually the fact that people are telling you have a problem, that's the problem. That you should just live in ignorance, not fucking face the reality that you live in." And instead just be like, no, you telling them they have a problem is the problem. Like, that's actually just insane to me. That you would be, that you're trying to hide, in my mind, you're trying to like hide the fact that there's an issue out there by saying, hey, by telling them they have a problem, you're causing it. I don't know. I just think that's really stupid. I will admit that from an individual basis, like if I'm talking to an individual, I would do both. Like I would definitely say, hey, there are problems, systematic issues that you're going to be facing. And it's going to be a lot harder for you. I'm not going to say that you in particular are going to fail. I would never go to an individual and be like, yep, you're just going to fail. You shouldn't even try. Don't even bother. At the end of the day, sadly, they live in that world. They have to try. Like it's either sink or swim. It's either you're going to die or you're going to survive. Like, you don't really have a choice in that. So you have to just mention, hey, it's going to be harder for you. It's not fair. It's broken. We should try and fix those issues and we try and make it better. But at the end of the day, for right now, until it gets better, you're going to have to work a lot harder than everyone else if you want to survive. It really sucks, but that's just kind of how it is. So people like to try and equate that, oh, we just tell them, hey, you're going to fail. You can't do anything. You need the government to protect you and all these things. And while I believe that they do need that help, I would never once tell an individual just to give up and not try. Because that's actually dumb. You're just telling them to fail. And I at least have not seen it. I don't believe that that is how we portray it. I don't think we just go around telling people that they're just going to fail. And that's it. And we don't like offer solutions. Like we don't go around offering like, hey, here's like a program that can help you, that can make it easier, or these are the things that you can do to try and succeed. Like we offer those and we do that.
So that's why I say systematic racism is a problem, and it comes from the Democratic side.
I have to disagree. There's no law saying that you have to teach Black children that they can't make it in the world. The issue is really funding, and I think people get distracted and tend to blame it on systemic racism when it's not.
Like it was just a
That's
brain
really
dead,
the
like brain
common
dead,
issue.
actual brain
You
dead.
don't think that's systematic?
White kids are in poor districts as well, and there are tons of districts around the nation that are a majority white and they're poor.
But Black people are typically, if we look at statistics, Black people are in that lower income, people of color are in that lower income bubble right there. I feel like that's systematic, you know what I mean? It's targeting a specific group.
But there are tons of white kids in that bubble too.
I didn't disagree on that part. I definitely gave a shout out to, there are white kids in the trailer park.
I think a lot of it has to do with like
Oh, Thanos. What's up, my boy?
culture or the way that the like normal typical Black family is set up.
Ugh.
Statistics say that
The
Black people
culture.
don't have like 2 family households,
Yeah,
and that has a lot to
75%.
do. Yeah, that has like a lot to do with like the poverty rates. They're like
Okay.
they end up in school. They go to jail more often. So I don't think it's systemic racism.
Wait. Okay, I thought she was going to say like those other things are also like indicators, but she's making it sound like those are indicators when you come from a single parent household. And then what she said before that, she was talking about culture. Does she think that culturally Black people or minorities just are culturally more inclined to be single parents? And not that there are other systemic regimes that fucking like the war on drugs that specifically some of it targeted like Black communities so that the fathers were taken away and like would serve time and therefore be outside the family. I hate it when people just say it's their culture. I hate that fucking argument. So dumb.
Like more as that it's a fact of having to like educate.
We've done a lot to deal with race in this country.
Oh shit.
A lot of my friends on the left, they literally just see that it is a racist country. We're never not gonna be, and we need like insane change to just blow up the system. I think that would be the most foolish thing. When you look at who's helping the Black community, I think that President Trump has done a ton for the Black community. More than under Barack Obama, that's for sure.
I need to go back and listen to that. I think I'm fine. I think I'm gonna win this.
Disagree.
I strongly agree.
Hold on.
I
I need to go back and listen to that. One sec. Your attack restores 2 on hit, but you have negative. Ooh, holy shit! But no longer knocks us away. That would be pretty cool, I guess.
Should be clear. My blade grows stronger. Time to fish.
Let's get this real quick.
Bite this.
Knucklehead.
Payment in full.
Did I pick it up? Okay. Yeah, I need to go back and listen to what they said there at the end. What he said.
country. A lot of my friends on the left, they live a lot to
Oh, the poverty rate, their like where they end up in school, they go to jail more often. So I don't think it's systemic racism, and like more as that it's a fact of having to like educate.
We've done a lot to deal with race in this country. A lot of my friends on the left, they literally just see that it is a racist country. We're never not gonna be, and we need like insane change to just blow up the system. I think that would be the most.
I would like to know what this insane change is that
You
he's
look
saying.
at who's helping the black community? I think that President Trump has done a ton for the black community. More than under Barack Obama, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wonder why he feels that way. I would like to see like what he
COVID-19
thinks for that.
Is a serious and real disease. Rachel.
Disagree.
Ooh.
Casey?
I strongly agree.
Okay.
Noah?
I somewhat agree.
Amy?
Agree.
Alicia?
I said somewhat agree.
Malik?
Somewhat agree.
He's a doctor. He's a
Anything
doctor.
that can cause the death of somebody is serious. I can strongly agree with that statement, while at the same time being against a lot of the measures that have been taking place, especially over an extended period of time. It's affected my mental health, and I have a lot of people who are
just your
scared to
mental
come
health.
speak out, but of
I don't know how
course,
much mental health you
the
fucking
disease
have.
itself, yes, it's real. Yes, it's serious.
It's very serious. I've known people who have family members who have passed away, but if I don't believe it's to the degree that the media made it out to be. I mean, they said really early on 2 million people will die, and we're at 200,000. Overall, it's most likely been inflated a lot.
Ooh.
It's a really interesting
Yet all of
question
them
for
say
me, because I'm in
otherwise.
medical school. I have access to information that like the general public doesn't. So the thing I would say is context is not being given to the general public. I noticed one
shit.
week there was like, oh my God, there's been a surge in this state. Well, I know a drive-through just opened. Was there really a surge in cases, or was there a surge in testing?
I think that we are being distracted by the real problem in America. And the real problem in America is that we're not healthy overall. We're one of the sickest countries who's a first world country.
Oh no, that's like
So I think
positive.
the media has really blown it out of proportion. I don't think it's as serious as it's made out to be. It's being politicized to scare people.
And I don't know if you guys remember in the very beginning when they talked about this COVID, they said that the African American community was actually, more prone to getting COVID, or the Chinese virus. Gotta say it, guys. Gotta say it. Chinese virus.
Gotta say it. Gotta be racist, guys. I gotta do it.
Specifically, when it comes to high blood pressure, heart disease.
God
diabetes,
damn it.
We gotta take that in consideration. And unfortunately, we can't really compare ourselves to Sweden. Can't really compare ourselves to these other countries that one have a much smaller population and also live healthier lifestyles than we do.
Ooh, luckily we can compare ourselves to other countries, even though they have smaller populations, or not. I mean, like really small ones, kind of rough, but we can do it by a per capita basis that takes into the fact of how many people we have. So we can do that. I don't know why she's saying we can't.
As Americans.
I am open to liberal.
We're already out of that?
ideas.
We're already out of that? Wait, where's the person? Where'd that person go? Hold on. Person that said disagree.
Passed away, but if I don't believe it's to the degree that the media.
Taking place.
I said somewhat agree.
Wait, she says she
The
disagrees.
thing I would say is
Why is it strongly disagree?
context is not being given to the general public.
In America.
Did she not
And
answer?
the
I
real
wonder what she
problem in
said.
America is that we're not
Oh,
healthy.
that was what she said. She was the
We're one
healthy
of the
person.
sickest countries who's a first world country.
And it makes sense. If we want to look at the black community specifically when it comes to high blood pressure, heart disease.
Did I miss all of this?
We gotta
How did I
take
not?
that in consideration. And unfortunately, we can't really compare ourselves to Sweden. We can't really compare ourselves to these other countries that one have a much smaller population and also live healthier lifestyles.
Brain dead.
am
I
open
am, not
to
them.
liberal
I would never call
ideas.
them brain dead. I am.
Rachel?
Agreed.
Agreed.
I'm open, guys. I'm open-minded.
Agree.
Noah?
Yeah, guys. I'm open-minded a lot.
Strongly agree.
Ami?
Strongly agree.
Alicia?
I said agree.
And Malik?
Agree.
Yeah, of course.
So I said agree.
Because
like right
I'm
now,
open-minded,
like,
guys. Come on.
portraying so many radical views that it's like shutting.
I agree, but when they come out with their ideas, the radical ones, which are all of them right now, I can't follow those. If they were less radical, less liberal, then maybe I'd be okay with them. Fucking dumb. Give me a break. Shit. Hold on. I'm actually really behind right now because... Oh. I haven't gotten a lot of perfects on previous rounds. Fuck, hold on. Shit. I don't know if that hit me. Come on. I just need like one more. You, oh, fuck. Can you just die? Yes, got it. Okay, how many am I at, actually? I'm only at a plus 14%. I need to get at least to a plus 20. Okay.
Down from like listening to them all entirely, like socialism, that's like the #1 for me, because I
Like
know that
socialism
leads to communism, and people cannot tell me otherwise. And like
And people
my
cannot.
family actually
Oh no, they're clapping. Oh, if only I knew who was being the socialist.
like left Nicaragua because of like the socialist like stuff
Only
and
I knew.
communism that was happening. So, and I know a lot of Hispanic people like
Shit,
that's
get me out of
probably why
there.
Joe Biden isn't getting like any that much support. He is getting support, but not that much support.
I am super conservative, but I'm also an urbanist, and I don't mind.
An
New York
urbanist?
City. I'm totally open to it and even apply some. I mean, I'm almost vegan, so I had to say that because I'm almost vegan. But you know, it's okay
What
for
is-
conservatives to care
Oh
about
no,
the
he did the
environment
I'm
and things
vegan,
like that.
guys.
Something that you would consider liberal. I especially like listening to Andrew Yang. It's hard to hate that guy. You just can't. But I
He's part of the
nothing
Yang
about Joe
Gang.
Biden interests me. My biggest voting issue of all is China, and I think that it is the Chinese Communist Party is the biggest threat to the global order, but especially the American way. And Joe Biden has made it very clear that he's really not going to do too much to handle them, and in the past has actually enabled them.
I'm very, very open to having discussions.
Unlike
with
President Trump, who I think has given plenty of like, didn't like in the beginning he was like complimenting China and all that stuff, and like says, "Oh, we love China."
literally everybody. I'm in Blexit, and down here in our Tennessee chapter, when
Cast
we
5%.
are come across Black Lives Matter, we cross over the street and we talk to them. Friendly, peacefully, great conversation. We find a ton of middle ground. We add each
Nice.
other on freaking Facebook. But I feel like leftists today should just
Uh-oh.
be open and honest and just call themselves Marxists, because there's literally pretty much no difference nowadays when it looks at
All the Democratic Party who voted for a Joe Biden are Marxists. The people, when they were when the primaries were going on, people were yelling at Bernie Sanders as being the furthest left person, and then when it came out that Kamala Harris is seen as a very progressive person, and now they're saying, oh wait, actually Joe Biden, he's the Marxist, he's the fucking socialist that we have to be afraid of.
look at Bernie Sanders, when you look at Black Lives Matter, and then let's add in a bunch of like illegal
Yeah, Bernie Sanders, who didn't win the primaries, by the way.
immigrants, when we can't even take care of our own people. There's no logic. There's no
Can't take care of our own people, not by choice, or by choice, not because we can't, just because we choose not to.
logic to it. I'm open to talking and adopting things like who you decide to marry and all that kind of stuff. I'm open to that. Give people equal opportunity to succeed. But if you want to look at the LGBTQ stuff, I'm for you as an adult talking to another adult and consenting to do whatever you do. But I'm not for is shoving it down children's throats. I'm a mom of 3. I don't play that. No. What do you need to talk about to my kids about your dingling stuff and what you decide to identify? We don't care. They want to play with their toys.
Yeah, I actually
I'm glad you feel that way. I would, I don't have a strong stance. I would go with what the doctors say. So I'm glad you feel that way as a parent, but I would rather follow a doctor's prescription.
well, I work for the Gay Republican Group, so I am their political director in Pennsylvania and Ohio. And as far as gay issues go, I think that people looking to pass gay marriage or like repeal gay marriage, I think that's big government. I think the government shouldn't decide what is defined as marriage at all. Donald Trump has stood for the gays and gay marriage for a lot longer than Joe Biden has. Joe Biden entered the 2012 presidential campaign still opposing gay marriage.
Oh shit.
So if we're going to talk about that issue, then I feel like
I haven't heard this. I'm actually not sure. Wait, did you say the 2020 election or 2016 election?
that issue that stood for the gays and stood for marriage at all. Donald Trump has stood for the gays and gay marriage for a lot longer than Joe Biden has. Joe Biden entered the 2012
2012.
presidential
I don't know.
campaigns still
I'm not sure. I have to
have
double check. I'm actually not
And so
sure.
If we're going to talk about that issue, then I feel like public opinion has come around on that.
I said I strongly agree because the high school I graduated from, I was able to graduate with a kid who
I got
believe
fucked.
he worked on Bernie Sanders' campaign at some point, and I've been able to talk to them frequently since we graduated. We've had a lot of discussions. We have to understand there's not liberal problems and conservative problems. There's
American problems.
We just have we all have the same end goal. We just have two different ways to get there. We all want America to be better. At least I hope we do. I try to say, what if I'm wrong, and what if they're right, so I can truly see what they think.
That's good.
America
That's
is better
that's
now
good.
than it was 4 years ago.
I do that. I try to do that a lot. I try to like put myself in the idea of like, what if like all of I've been thinking or my beliefs are wrong? I mean, it's a scary thought, but to have your like, what's it called? To have a stance that you've hold pretty strongly, and then it find out like because there's a lot of people that have stances that I just fully disagree with. I'm like how? But so I try to put myself as like, okay, well, if I was in that person's like, if it came out that like things that I believed are like completely wrong, it would be hard for me to it would probably be hard for me to like come to that conclusion. But I mean, that's why normally when you have a stance, you should try and go through the steps of being like, okay, well, I believe this. What would it take, or like, is there anything that could be shown to me, or evidence that could be brought up that would make me actually change my stance? And I think having that is a good first step, as long as you're understanding that you can change and there are things that reasonably change. Like when the people said, oh yeah, I'm open for liberal ideas, and then all of the ideas, any liberal ideas, you just rationalize it saying like, oh, that's a radical idea. I don't believe in the radical ideas. That's not okay. But having like an actual reasonable understanding of like, okay, well, if this was true and this was true, then yeah, I could see myself like coming over and like being okay with it. And as long as you have that, I think you can like avoid falling down the trap of thinking that your way is the only way and that you can't ever like reason yourself out of it. Let me actually do this first before I restart it. I need to survive, or I need to kill them? No, I need to kill them. Oh wait, it only gives health too. There's no reason for me to do this. You mother, come back. Okay.
How many times?
Mine. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's go.
Rachel,
Strongly agree.
Casey,
I strongly agree.
Noah,
I strongly agree.
Ami.
Somewhat agree.
I wonder if they have before they do these, before they give the answers, they like choose beforehand, or because like I'm thinking like the last person, if the other people's responses ever like influences them. Like if they're supposed to be in with their peers and then they come out like they're not, they don't strongly agree while everyone else does, if it changes what they would say. I feel like it would. I feel like it would affect definitely for some people. I feel like this is really strong. This +2 per hit, but
Lucia?
I strongly agree.
Strongly agree.
Yeah, so I somewhat agree, and that kind of actually sucks to say because I wish it was strongly agree.
aw.
But when in terms of race relations, I feel like we've taken so many steps backwards. I never thought that as a millennial and somebody in 2020 that I would go outside my door and there would be like tension, friends disowning each other, family disowning each other. I know I've experienced that. I think
Oh,
we
shit.
have come a long way, but when it comes to racial matters,
I believe all problems are downstream of economics, and I think when Trump says
a lot of it probably is.
we're going to invest billions and billions of dollars into low-income areas, like in Detroit, the gentrification that happened, which I'm a big supporter of, it gave specific family members in my family
Ooh.
jobs that paid like 4 times what they were making before. And that's because a billionaire
Whenever
now
you have a
owns,
chance to
like,
dodge. Ooh,
1/3 of
dodge
downtown
chance,
Detroit.
15%.
Like people complain about it, but before, I bet 1/3 of these buildings were abandoned.
Dodge chance.
That's done more for the black community than any president I've known in my lifetime.
I feel the tension that Ami feels But I do feel like President Trump's the leader to lead us out of that, because I see the Democrat Party, they
That Democrat
see
Party.
the pain, they use it. People who are hurting, make
Wait,
them
why
hurt
is
a little
this
bit
one?
more, and
I don't know
become
if that showed up on the
victims to
stream.
whatever
Hopefully
hurt
not.
they have, whether it's racial or otherwise. And I don't appreciate that, and I don't think that that's the.
I completely missed what he said.
It's like 1/3 of downtown Detroit. Like people complain about it, but before, I bet 1/3 of these buildings were abandoned. That's done more for the black community than any president I've known in my lifetime.
I feel the tension that Ami feels, but I do feel like President Trump's the leader to lead us out of that, because I see the Democrat Party, they see the pain, they use it. People who are hurting, make them hurt a little bit more, and become victims to whatever hurt they have, whether it's racial or otherwise. And I don't appreciate that, and I don't think that that's the answer. I think President Trump's optimism is the answer to.
His optimism is the answer.
I think that the economy is the biggest thing, probably the only thing that President Trump can do for us when it comes to race relations. I don't personally think that Trump is the answer to race relations, because it's a bigger discussion that's beyond Trump. The best thing that President Trump can do for Black America and people of color is to just give them the opportunity to thrive, and I think he's done that, a great job at that, especially before the China virus took place and everything. But
She just loves it. That China virus.
Media has such a massive part to play, and I think the first step that we could do as society is hold our mainstream media accountable. If we didn't have to dig to see that Trump has denounced white supremacy multiple times, and the mainstream was doing their jobs and not adding fuel to the fire, I think maybe as a society we could all come together and.
If he's done it multiple times, then why is it when they ask he just doesn't keep doing it?
America's always had, political polarization. We've always had racial issues. But at least we have these problems, and we have a robust economy. In January and February and March, once Donald Trump gives the second inaugural address, we'll see the economy bounce right back.
Yeah, we will. We'll just come right back, guys.
When COVID happened, he did not use the opportunity to usurp more power than he already had. It really concerns me when politicians like Joe Biden say he's going to make the entire country follow a mandatory mask mandate. That's completely unacceptable. It's an overreach of power.
Hold on.
Bounce right back.
He's not the president in order to gain power. When COVID happened, he did not.
He's not the president. Wait, who's he talking about?
We've always had racial issues, but at least we have these problems, and we have a robust economy. In
What did
January,
she say?
February, and March, once Donald Trump gives the second inaugural address, we'll see the economy bounce right back.
He's not the president in order to gain power. When COVID happened, he did.
Trump, the president who's constantly removed people from power to put people that are more loyal to him. The person who's multiple times talked about maybe another 4 years after these 4 years, right? Maybe even more, maybe longer. Maybe I just won't leave. Okay.
Not use the
Those were jokes. I'm so dumb. I'm a fucking libtard. Those were just jokes.
opportunity to usurp more power than he already had. It really concerns me when politicians like Joe Biden say he's going to make the entire country follow a mandatory mask mandate. That's
I'll let her finish.
completely unacceptable. It's an overreach of power.
I think
It's an overreach of power when a disease is killing people and going through, putting up some kind of standards that people need to follow. And I believe Biden said multiple times he'd leave it up. He'd have a mandate, and he'd suggest the mandates go out to the governors, and then if the governors don't do it, he'd go to the mayors, trying to encourage mandatory mask wearing. But let's say he doesn't even do that. He does strictly federal, and he's like, hey, fucking put this into place, and that's what we're doing. Listening to professionals about how we should deal with a virus that's killing people to protect their people by having you put an extra article of clothing on. That's an overreach of power, apparently. Yeah. Yep.
a lot of why America's so strong is because we have such a strong leader like President Trump, and he cares. He genuinely cares about America. He loves America so much, and he also loves the American people. So I think it's like super nice to just see that a president who is enthusiastic to work for this beautiful country that I love and the American people, which is like you and me. So
On that note, you guys, that is
Okay.
a wrap.
Hey, great job.
Okay. Let's watch the Biden one.